So I've started to get a little ahead of things. Here's the sequencer right here. It's all set and squared to go into place right there. I'll get a shot of that a little later. This tube was already here, so I routed that through there, and this tube is new as of a minute ago, so I routed the wires through here. Then I'm going to run them under these wires and start hooking up LEDs in there. In the sequencer, the freezer wall will be done essentially. At least I'm pretty sure. And then from each of those, I can also further wire different colors elsewhere and get those blinking on and off as well. So I'm going to twiddle around a little. I don't think I'm going to do anything that I haven't done before on camera. Most specifically, I want to get these LEDs flashing here. Cool white 5mm straw hats for those. And yeah. Let's take a look at this real quick. So the idea here is just that I'm going to tack it into place with glue right in the corner there, and maybe a dash right there at the bottom corner, and just hold it in like that. The chips and the resistors on the back side don't come near enough the fiber optics that are there to worry about. And the fiber optics that'll be coming through that little hole for the elevator there, I should be able to protect them too, with little to no trouble. So let's see how this goes. Alright, so I'm just pulling into my stash of 5mm straw hat cool whites. Test them real quick each. Trying to find a good place to bend the legs so I can set these into place. It looks like I could even solder these two legs together in this case. Let's turn the soldering iron on, of course. There we go. I think the iron was still catching up with the temperature reading, maybe. So then these two will fit nice and snug right in here. They are pushing up against some fiber optics. Normally you don't want to mix CA with fiber optics or get it anywhere close at all under any circumstance. In this case, it's the very ends of the fiber optics, so if they disintegrate a little from the CA, it's not too much of a problem. There may be some light distortion going on as the plastic folds over itself, but essentially you don't have to worry too much, if at all, I would think. Now if I can get this guy to reach that negative line so I can solder those three together into that one place, that would be pretty sweet. And it looks like I should be able to just about do it. So it's in position. And I got it. Now technically I should be able to wire one of these black wires up to that. However, I'm going to do at least two of them, just so there's enough pathways for the electrons to get down all that wire. I don't want to crowd it too much, especially when I start loading other LEDs onto these. And for those, what I'll probably just wind up doing is jumpering off of these points here, just to keep it simple. You know what? One's going to be enough. I'm not worried. If anything, I'll leave these open for any future LEDs. I could run the negative off of them. I don't want to run any standard LED power off of these at all, simply because they are going to the board and that thing's resources are limited. Certainly capable for everything I need, but still limited overall. There's no point in putting unnecessary stress on a system. I'd say that looks nice and neat, huh? Get a better look at it. There we go. 2 sequencers, 6 LEDs, 7 timing modes on it, and we'll see how this goes. I should also split one of those off to a blue LED over here while I'm thinking of it. In fact, let me grab some spare wire and I'll do that now. I'm just trying to make a hook out of the wire there to kind of loop it around, hold it in place long enough for me to solder it. There we go. Everything is pretty much protected from everything else in here. Let's try powering this sequencer on and see what happens. I'm really anxious to see what this looks like now with both sequencers going. Let's see if I can get some wire hooked up here real easy and quick. Let's try that again, shall we? Yeah, that's interesting. I don't have negative power going to that blue LED, so that's why that isn't flashing right now. So I think overall I'd slow down that fast one before I'd speed up the slow one, but let's see what they look like since I happen to have the fast controls nearby. Let's see if I can slow this one down fairly easy. That's certainly the idea. I'm surprised that they're still changing at a similar rate. And some of them go off at a particular time, but it's not quite as varied as I thought it might be. But I didn't fully expect it, and I really wasn't sure what to expect doing this experiment. And I'm really happy with the outcome so far. This is both sequencers set to the slowest possible time. I bet if there was one more sequencer in there, it would look really, really good. But I'm happy with 2 so far. I'm playing with the speeds right now. One thing I had noticed a while ago is that even though I had let the fiber optics, at least I think I let it dry, the glue, I forget how I did this now. But regardless, a lot of the fiber optic tips have kind of pushed forward, and I'm hoping I'll be able to push some of them back. I don't know if I'd be able to take a really hot X-Acto blade and cut over them. That would be nice if that would work.